All right. Are we ready?
I think so.
Are we ready for this? Do you like it? Do you like it like this? I even did the proper
Mike Divine
chimes. And the Mark Panopoulos chimes. We have to remember that.
Yes.
The Mark Panopoulos chimes as well. Welcome to the show. Lee isn't here this week. We have Leah sitting in here and filling his chair rather admirably, I might add. And this is the Halton Hills blog, and we're brought to you, as always, by Max Tires. I have it written down now so I don't forget it.
You remember the 9255?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. 905-873-9255. Sean is watching the video from Pakistan for the next couple of weeks, so hope you have a good holiday, boss man. And as a matter of fact, the other boss at Max Tires, Rob, he just got back from Florida. It's a tough life, isn't it? Oh my God.
Oh, I have tons of friends right now traveling all over warmer aspects of Earth.
But the wonderful thing about Max Tires is they're so reliable. They're the best deals on tires that you're going to find anywhere. And they have an auto, they also sell vehicles as well and maintain the large trucks and wonderful accessories for the sexy stuff, you know, in the showroom there. Very sexy showroom that Sean's got down there. Max Tires, 61 Gull Street in Georgetown, 905-873-9255. Clearing my throat. And this week we're brought to you by Joe's Milk Chocolate Dipped Jujubes, which Leah has consumed about 45 of them since she got here. So,
oh, come on. There was only a quarter of a bag there, but yeah, I've done my share of it. That's I love them.
There's Joe's right there. Joe's. We should contact Joe's and say, listen, we promote you and your pretzels, which is what is that again? Chocolate
covered pretzels.
Yeah. And it's caramelly, isn't it? Very addictive.
Well, it's not caramelly, but it's like having salted chocolate with a crunch to it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a bag of chips.
And you thought it was going to be hard. You're
I've never heard of it before. Chocolate and pretzels together. And of course, the beloved marshmallow bananas, which, by the way, you can get in Acton. You can get those in Acton.
You can get them everywhere.
Right at the... no, not really. I've been looking for them in a few places and haven't been able to find them. The only place I've found them that is... I even looked in Giant Tiger, didn't see them there either.
No, I see them all over. Just it depends. Some places do.
If you're dying and you need a fix, just go to the Shell, and little buddy there will take care of you. They're right as soon as you open the door. The first thing you see on the left. My beloved orange marshmallows. Oh. All right, man. Let's have a look at some of the stories that's going on this week from Halton Hills Online. This is from the Independent Free Press, by the way. Halton police have charged a Georgetown man in connection with a January robbery at an Acton convenience store. Around 10:50 a.m., a male suspect entered Acton discount variety store at 5 John Street South in Acton, demanded, of course, cash and pointed a handgun at a store employee. And Halton police said in a news release, serious stuff, you know, going on. You don't like to see robberies, and we've had a few lately, no doubt about that. The man fled without any money, and the store employee was physically not injured. Now, the suspect was identified by investigators on February the 6th after a search warrant was executed as a Georgetown home. Handgun used in the robbery was not recovered. However, as a result of the investigation, police have laid charges against a 37-year-old Georgetown man, but it doesn't say what his name is. Usually, well,
you know, there must be a reason. Maybe for some reason, who knows what goes on behind the scenes. There's a reason why it hasn't been.
Maybe family members don't, or something like that. But usually they release the name right away if they've caught.
Well, maybe it's still in question if it's him or not.
Well, you're not guilty until you're proven guilty.
It should be that way. So
well, you know, society and social media doesn't point that way anymore. But okay, so that's the big story, and of course we would like to remind you as well that we're Halton Hills Online Radio too, aren't we? And,
we are.
We're the Loosey Goosey show, and we're part of an audio thing on all three of our radio stations. Where we have Don Cherry on, and we're on along with Don Cherry. We're calling it the Canadian Loosey Goosey Hour.
Love Don.
With Don Cherry, and of course what we do here on our local channels, and then we have the other podcast audio we have on air radio on FM 108 and on Radio GTA. I created it and I can't even. All right.
I'm on this side now. I got my whips over there, so
I know.
You're safe for today.
But you know, as the audience will say, you know, you're far better looking than I am, baby.
Oh, please.
No doubt about it. Fall in Love with Local at the Georgetown Marketplace. That's coming up on February the 11th and February the 12th, which is this Saturday and Sunday, of course. And checking out the mall. You can never go through the mall without knowing somebody. Do you know what I mean? Can you? You can't walk from one end of the Georgetown Marketplace to the other without knowing at least one person. Come on.
I don't go there often.
Yeah.
Rarely. So
yeah. No,
I have in Walmart. When I used to go to Walmart occasionally, there usually was somebody I'd pass. In fact, people I went to school with. Well, I hadn't seen in years. So, yeah, sometimes, yeah.
You know, the food court really is an interesting place because it's a place where Georgetown goes to meet. You know what I mean? And you see the same people sitting in the same seats every day, and they're there because they're there. You know, I mean, and it's a great way, and it's a mall. You know, it's the center of our town. It's where everybody gets together. It's where all of our Walmart stories come from. You know, we have our Walmart there. We have a lot of great stores here in Georgetown. We don't, and Acton. And I love Giant Tiger too, but that's wandering off. What I'm saying is you're going to join them this weekend at the Georgetown Marketplace. Do you know why, Leah? I'll tell you why. Valentine's Day is being celebrated at the Fall in Love and local event at the Georgetown Marketplace, Saturday, February the 11th and Sunday, February the 12th. And this two-day event is a perfect opportunity to discover new and exciting products while supporting the local economy right in time for Valentine's Day. What a great idea. Sahiz Fazil, I hope I pronounced his name right, or Fazli, the marketing coordinator of the Georgetown Marketplace, said that it's a great idea. And there'll be more than 30 local small businesses and artisans involved as well. So the company is inside the mall. Are y'all getting into this? Great place to take your Valentine if you had one. We don't have one, do we?
Doesn't mean you can't take yourself and go and enjoy it anyways.
That's right.
Valentine's is about the heart.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be in a relationship.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. And you get to eat chocolate even if you're single.
Yeah, see, and that's right up that's my love right there.
Yeah. I mean, you can go to a store and buy a birthday cake and eat it yourself and never tell anyone. Starting to sink in, the officiating career of Mr. Lewis, of course, Brian Lewis.
Yes.
God bless him. He's one of the leaders of our town, counselors, and but of course, the side we know him as is from the HHOL and he's hockey. You ever talk to Bruce? Brian, pardon me?
I was going to say Bruce.
Bruce.
Are we talking about the same people now?
No, I'm just, I got too much sugar in me. I'm starting to roll off here. And I blame Joe's treats for that. But
there's still some.
Yeah, I know. Brian, have you ever talked to him though? He's such a nice guy. And he'll wander off into a story he's like Don Cherry, you know. Because when these guys in the NHL and in sports and in entertainment and media, they have so many stories they can tell you. I mean, I'm a small fry guy, and I got a million stories.
Yeah, of course,
you know, which we'll leave for other stories. But coming from a profession where the measure of success is most often not being noticed, you might think being singled out and might not as well. Brian Lewis is a superstar, in my opinion. I think
he's a good guy.
Upon hearing the I can't read this. Is there any way can we do this on where I can get the letters a little louder? Good girl. Oh my God! Thank you so much. Oh, now I can see because you could tell I was stumbling over my words.
Where's your glasses? Well, it's because it's a small screen. It's a smaller screen than you're used to.
But he's been around forever, and as I said last week, we're waiting for Mayor Ann Lawler to come on the show. I'd like to get her on the show with some of her ideas, because there's so many. You know, it's a new house. It's a new. You know, Rick told me that she painted the office already after he left, so she's already in there changing things around.
Well, that's kind of what the women do, right?
I know,
it's
exactly.
It's not just about the job. It's
exactly.
it's where you're sitting all the time, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I think she's going to do a great job. And of course, Brian Lewis was right behind her in the race there for the mayor. But we wish her well, and she's already started shaking the ground in several areas. So
she has.
Yeah. Let's look at some other, and we have to take our hats off to the Georgetown Independent and Halton Hills Today. And of course the Georgetown Police, the Georgetown Raiders, the Halton Police, pardon me, got that wrong. The Georgetown Raiders, these are the places that we get our news and information from, and they're a very important part of our community, as we are, of course, sitting here doing the Halton Hills thing around the world. So anyway, we're very proud of Brian Lewis, and you know, sometimes I'll go on YouTube and watch some old shows of Brian, some old like footage from the NHL days.
His refereeing?
His refereeing days, and he always had a stone face until, you know, you get the odd smile out of him, but he was a typical referee, and a great referee, and a great friend, and a great guy to talk to. Now, do you think COVID's gone, or do you think it's always going to be here? Because we're getting something again here coming up, the next story.
You know what? I'm done. I'm done with it. I honestly, if it's here to stay, it's here to stay. What are you gonna do?
Is it the flu? Do you think just another form of the flu now?
You know my opinion on a lot of this stuff.
I know.
And it doesn't ride along with all of this.
You know,
but
if you say,
it's not that it's not real, though. Don't get me wrong. It's a real virus.
Oh yeah, it is a real virus.
I'll never say it's not, but it's all the other stuff playing out all the time. It's just.
But masks have you noticed over the last little while that masks have totally disappeared now?
Yes and no. I find a lot of seniors more so. In public places like in a grocery store, or if you're going into one of the drugstores or wherever they might go, yeah. I still see them there, but for the most part, and actually a lot of stores where I am anyways, I'm not in Georgetown anymore, so where I am, I find a lot of the shops and stores I go in and out of, they're still, even restaurants are still wearing them.
I went into Food Basics like I do every week, or wherever I end up. Sometimes I go to Acton, you know, Sobeys, but I went in there and I said to myself before I went in there, I'm going to see how many people are in there wearing masks. And I was in there for 15, 20 minutes, like you are when you shop. Mm-hmm. Didn't see one person with a mask on.
Oh, I still see them a lot. Where I am?
Well, here? Not the story here.
Yeah.
Like I'll go to my doctor's office and you wear a mask, just out of, or the hospital, local hospital. But we've been having some outbreaks. Halton Region has declared new COVID-19 outbreaks in Burlington and Georgetown, and the region released the new location on Thursday, February the 9th. And there were there's some outbreaks in Burlington, but we have some here. New outbreaks included at the Amica Georgetown Retirement Home, and that was declared on February the 8th, and that was impacting the 4th floor. And of course, Extendicare in Halton Hills, the long-term care home, and that was also issued on February the 8th. So,
well, you're hearing a lot of this, though. I mean, as far as the hospitals go across the province, you still hear a lot about the backups. There's actually been situations in various parts of Ontario, Canada. You know, there's a lot going on with a lot of these. The emergencies are backed up with ambulances, and they're getting calls, and they can't go because they're all backed up.
Yeah.
And they're not getting out to go and get the emergencies they need right now. So that is happening in areas. So. I mean, there's still a lot of issues. We don't see them all like we did because it's not being announced like it was. But there's in the healthcare, they're still having a lot of trial and error here.
I feel sorry for people that have to work in hospital situations, because people are cranky to begin with. They don't want to be there. They're not feeling well.
And they're short-staffed.
No, I feel sorry for them, because they have a hell of a lot of abuse verbally from people. And I've seen it firsthand, and probably you have too.
Well, some people, but they're sick, right? Yeah. Whatever the reason. Unfortunately, it doesn't justify it, but it is what it is.
We've reached the 15-minute point on the show here at Halton Hills Online, right?
Check the...
Yeah.
See, we're still going?
Huh? Yeah, we're still going.
Well, I'll go check and see.
That's why.
When I say 15, I know.
You're just fucking with me. That's right. Make sure you edit that part out. You see how easy this is? The only problem I'm having before you do that is, can you make the... I'm having a hard time reading it. Is it all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can splice all this stuff out, right?
Yeah.
I'm just having a hard time reading that.
The problem is, okay,
can you set the font a little differently, or?
Well,
that comes up good. Okay, hold on.
You might just have to do this.
Okay.
That's all. When you're.
And then,
I mean, you can make it like that.
No.
I'm just saying you can.
That scares me. That
right?
scares me.
So you just kind of. But you can bring it up.
See.
And you just do this. And do this.
If I screw it up where
but it's
I can't see.
It's a smaller screen, hon. That's why you're.
So how do I go like that?
Like push, not too hard, but just push. Push. Go. There you go. Scroll. You don't need. You don't even need this. I mean, you can use that.
Yeah, but I do need it for.
Because this is referred to as a tablet or a computer.
Okay.
It's a laptop, but it's dual.
Okay. So I just go like that.
That's it.
Okay. Don't even need that.
You can bring it closer to you even if you need to.
Okay, now I'm ready to rock. So we're going to start the second part of the show with the red nose.
So let's see, stop for a second.
Hang on a second.
We're going to breathe for a second.
Yeah,
no, leave that. No, just leave that going. Oh, no.
Yeah, well,
we know we're 2 minutes
under
you're right. Or over.
Well, you get the radio mind like me. And...
So, okay, here we go. Ready?
Okay, no, hold on a minute. I can't see the end of that line. Oh, I just go like that. You're right. Shut up and listen, Russ.
I mean, you don't have quite that big.
Okay, that's fine.
Right, just enough.
That's fine. That's fine.
Just when you're doing this again, next time you do it, what I do when I'm doing this, I make sure that I don't let it go to the length of the page. I only do it so much, and I hit return, because then it's all that way, as opposed to, okay? All right, so, 1, 2, 3, go.
And red noses are returned to acting this last week. Did you see anything about that on social media?
No.
They were all wearing red noses in acting.
I was too busy with my business. I wasn't on much this week.
This is from Herb Garbett at the Independent Free Press from last Monday. There have been a lot of red noses around town this week, but Monday it had nothing to do with the cold temperatures. Relaunching an idea that had its roots in Acton, Nancy Wilkes and Angela Tyler rebooted Lighten Up Canada Day that saw residents wearing red noses to spread cheers in the depth of winter with just weeks of preparation. And of course, the pair distributed between 1,500 and 2,000 red noses for people to wear. I think that's a great idea, especially in February, you know, when everybody's kind of like
this weather's been bizarre.
Have you noticed this year that we've had very little sunshine?
Very little sunshine, lots of rain. Yeah. We've had more freezing rain than we've had snow.
Yeah.
And this next few days again, like Sunday they're talking, or Saturday, Sunday, sunny, and Sunday that I don't know about Saturday, Sunday's like 7 degrees.
And then last week I was out
February.
I was out feeding my animals out the back here.
Yeah.
And my 2 nose hairs stuck together. It was like minus 35.
Oh, I remember that about 4 or 5 days ago. Oh yeah, 6 days.
And it was just the crows watching me from the trees in the back there going, what the hell are you doing out here in your robe when it's 35 below, Big Daddy? Feeding us. Because I love you, that's why. And I told you, I named all my animals Fred so I don't get them mixed up. It doesn't matter if you're a squirrel or a crow. You're named Fred.
Yeah, one of them might not like that one day, so you might want to be careful.
Yeah, that's right.
Possible.
You know, crows are very, I'll tell you a story about crows quickly. Crows are very intelligent animals.
Oh, very. I have a bird, remember?
They gave crows in an experiment by a main intersection in some major U.S. city years ago, really hard nuts that they could never crack on their own, like with their beaks. You know what they did after 25 minutes? They threw them into the intersection. And they watched the cars roll over and they went down and they ate them. That shows when that crow's looking at you from the tree, he's probably checking you out. You know what I mean? All right, the local organization here, we have Home Instead Halton has gifted $30,000 to the local Alzheimer's Society. And the local organization has also sponsored many Alzheimer's Society events over the year. And that comes from Halton Hills Today. So congratulations to them. It's a lot of money, eh? 30
Most
grand.
definitely is.
Now, hats off to Halton Hills Today as well, because they're starting to list all the events of what's going on in our town.
Yep.
And, you know, when it was a newspaper, the Independent was easier to find out what's going on the weekend. But now it seems harder to find stuff. Well, what's going on? You know, is there anything going on? Well,
unless you see it on Facebook, but not everybody goes on Facebook either, right?
No, that's right. So all weekend, this weekend, we've got Ignite the Night, which is running February the 10th and 11th, 5:30 to 8 p.m. at Terracotta Conservation Area. And visitors can hike or snowshoe on trails lit up by fire and lights every weekend until March the 4th. 1 hour skating, rink reservations too will be available as conditions permit as well. And that is happening on, again, the 10th and 11th. And then on Saturday, the Royal Canadian Legion Georgetown monthly breakfast. And my stomach is starting to rumble, Leah.
Well, there's chocolate and jujubes.
I know, but it's not the same kind of
It's not
food.
the same, but it'll help.
Yeah, I like them both, though. Don't get me wrong. And that's, now the monthly breakfast runs February the 11th from 8 until 11 a.m. That's Saturday morning from 8 to 11. Come enjoy a full breakfast for $8, including pea-meal bacon. Here we go. This is going to start making us feel hungry here. Pea-meal bacon, sausage with eggs, hash browns, beans, toast, coffee, tea, juice. Looking for a lighter breakfast? Breakfast sandwiches on an English muffin, pardon me, and a pea-meal on a bun.
They're giving English money too?
English money.
That ought to pull a crowd.
That's right. It should. Support your local Legion too, because we've got a couple of nice Legions in our area. The one in Acton's gorgeous, and the beautiful mural, the one downtown Georgetown, is old school, you know.
Well, it's funny for me, growing up, the Legion downtown, of course, we had one of the Century homes where we lived on Market Street, and Grandma and Grandpa walking home from the store, going home would go up Wesleyan and straight up Market. Yeah. But on Friday nights, that was their stopover, because Grandpa, of course, was a war veteran, and that was their stop. And I always knew when Grandma and Grandpa didn't get home till, 10 o'clock, because they didn't go for hours, they go for a couple of drinks. Yeah. Oh, at the Legion again, I see. Yeah. So that's what I always remember.
That's
I think
old school Georgetown, like the McGibbon. How can you replace those? You can't replace the memories you had at the McGibbon. You're never going to find another McGibbon hotel, another George and Nick, another Chico the Chihuahua. You know what I mean? And I really do miss those times, because I was part of the DeMoose thing, the DeMoose radio next door. I
get it.
And never paid a month's rent for that place. They dedicated it to the town.
They were good for that, though. They always did things like that for people.
Now we've got the Halton Hills Public Library, who advertise on the Halton Hills online streaming, on our streaming platform on Facebook all the time. February 11th, and that's Saturday from 10 a.m. at the Halton Hills Public Library, Georgetown and Acton branches. You can explore new themes each week through stories, rhymes, and songs, and no registration is required for that. And I think that the Halton Hills Library, they do a wonderful job, and they take care of our community.
Well, there's always lots going on there for people.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And all ages. It's not like it's limited to children or adults or, right? It's,
I remember when I was a kid going into a library before the age of the internet. It's like going into a church, isn't it, really, when you think about it? And it's still like that. It's nice and quiet in there if you want to go in and sit down out of the cold, and there's so many wonderful books. People have forgotten how to read nowadays, I guess, a little bit.
Well, because you've got audiobooks and you've got ebooks, and there's so many variations now, right? For people that are busy, you can, I know I've done that in the past with audiobooks, because I don't always have.
There's so much romance about reading a book, though. Don't you agree?
Oh, I've always read a lot of books.
I have my friend Fred Waterer, who lives down in St. Catharines, a great friend of mine. He's got books and books and books, and he's read every one of them, 1,000 books. And he's got his own little library of books And I think you learn from everything you read.
Oh, always,
and
always.
Of course, and you're right. They're on talking books now and stuff.
But the libraries now have ebooks.
Yeah.
And audiobooks. They have for a very long time, because even a decade ago, that's what I used to use when I'm working with seniors. So.
Well, even the way of learning in a library is changing now. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do, right?
Yeah.
All right, what's going on here with the town wants public input on, well, this is going to be a little bit, I don't know whether I like this or not. Public meetings will be held next week on the proposed condo development in Georgetown, along with the Milton Quarry expansion into Halton Hills. So we're getting into some busy times with meetings coming up. This from the Independent as well. And the Rosetta Street condominiums, what exactly are they going to do with that? Plans have been put forth for 3 condominium buildings, which is going to be right by the Georgetown GO Station. Yeah. I'm surprised that it's been sitting there for so long, to tell you the truth. The proposal from developer at 1 Rosetta Street Incorporated includes an 8-story building and 2 12-story ones with a total of 640 units on land occupied by the former paper coating mill, of course. And the complex directly north of Georgetown GO, that would I've lost myself here. Where am I? Hang on a sec. I'm getting used to some new technology. But the whole thing is being, there it is right there. There it is right there. So the north part, that's what I was looking for, where the town is currently considering options for a number of development aspects, including pedestrian access to Georgetown GO Station, protecting residents from train noise and more. So the whole scenery around Rosetta Avenue is going to change. And a lot of people grew up in the old days of, in that riding bikes around there, remember? When you were a kid? I mean, it's just a part of Georgetown, right?
Well, I was born, like I said, I was raised for the most part. We have one of those big old century homes on Market Street. So North Georgetown for me is stomping grounds. Yeah. That's my familiarity. Downtown, of course, because my grandparents had that store, and so it's as much as it's needed in some cases, it's still very difficult as someone born and raised here when I see all these changes to this magnitude of tall rising buildings. Yeah. It's not that I don't want it, but it's an adjustment.
The adjustment for me is not seeing the McGibbon there anymore. Did you hear that they're going to keep the sign?
I haven't driven by there yet, eh? So when I come here. I'll wait till they get it done. I don't want to see it right now.
And it leaves a hole in your heart when you drive by there as a Georgetown resident, because it was the cornerstone. Oh, yeah. But I'm glad to see that they're going to they've kept the sign. I was wondering what happened to that sign.
It was supposed, well, originally when Silver Creek had it, that was one, because as you know, I was working, Katie and I worked with Pat Farley in terms of not stopping the development, but trying to keep it somewhat in tune with the heritage downtown. Yeah. And that was always an agreement that the sign, it's been there for so long, it's an original sign to keep it.
And don't forget, and I've said this before on the show, because George and Nick wouldn't go on the air and say it themselves, but those two helped people so much when they were around. They helped me. They gave me free rent at the radio station.
Look at upstairs.
Upstairs was people that were homeless, that had nowhere to go. So people at Georgetown, please remember how good those two buggers were. I miss them. I love them both very much. Chico, the Chihuahua, passed away, sadly. He used to eat all my fries. I used to sit there and have fries, and George would say, "Look out, he's coming." There he was, right there. And then he hated me after that. He used to bark at me. But he loved me when he was eating my fries.
Oh, of course. Well, we did an investigation there, too.
I know you did.
Down in the basement.
And you, of course, were with Halton Paranormal. Still are, really.
We still are. The girls, for the last few years, we've all just had so much going on.
You guys were on CFNY. And,
well, a couple times.
And
Storage Wars, a couple times.
Storage Wars.
Or not Storage Wars, sorry. Isn't that, I can't think of the word.
That's all right, no problem.
Anyways, But
you were all over the media.
CBC News,
radio.
CBC Radio, CFNY.
CBC News.
Oh yeah, we were on all of it. We were were on the different Much Music.
Oh.
We were on it. Took them for an investigation.
Oh,
we
you're
were
on
1010.
You're on
1010 Friendly Fire. We had them out.
Oh, CFRB.
Yeah. We had them as well and did an investigation, and they did an
There's
interview.
a lot of interest in especially with YouTube and TikTok and everything else going on. You see paranormal events. Now, some of them I'm not saying aren't, made up. Let's just say that, made up. But
well, it's ratings. It's ratings, right?
Yeah, but
it's
still.
ratings.
Georgetown Hospital is raising funds with a cruise lottery, by the way. Exciting prizes to be won in support of your local hospital. Help the Georgetown Hospital Foundation raise money for new equipment and technology by participating in their 2023 cruise lottery. By purchasing one ticket for $10, 3 for $20, or 8 for $40, you'll have the chance to escape the winter weather and hop on the Norwegian Encore for a 7-day cruise for 2 in the Caribbean, man.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
I'm ready to go for a tour for a little while.
Yeah. I'd like to say hi to Tracy Quinn, who just got back from I don't know if she was on a cruise or she was she's a lovely gal. And,
hi, Tracy.
And she's an Activan driver, of course, very popular gal. And she sells linens and sheets and all kinds of stuff, as you know.
And Android, the Android boxes.
That's right.
And she's a busy woman.
Yeah, she is a good girl. I love her. The Georgetown Raiders have hit top 4. Oh, I've just shut myself off. What did I do there? I can do this by memory anyway.
Well, go ahead. You keep talking by memory because I don't know how much it's going to...
Georgetown Raiders are, of course, on winning streak right now. They're doing very well. And they got into a lot of scraps in Stouffville there on, I guess it would have been Thursday night. And they went into Aurora and they beat them 4-0. And very physical team heading into the playoffs. And hello to Aaron Nagy. And by the time you get that back up, I'll have done the whole story just by memory.
Well, it's up now, but there you go.
Not bad for a 62-year-old dude, is
That's why this is what you do.
That's right. Now, I'll explain why I've been stumbling over this. This is because I'm getting used to a new screen, and I didn't wear my glasses, and I should have. So some of the stuff I can't see, but now with it being bigger, so when you see me, I'm scrolling.
Well, because this is a combination laptop, tablet, so you can actually use the screen as well instead of just a mouse and a... So you're not used to that yet.
Let me tell you what's going on this weekend. Big Daddy has dug up the information at the Red Harp, and it'll probably be a little bit late unless you get this up late Friday night, but I think Saturday by the time you get the video.
No, it'll be up tonight.
All right, so Friday night at the Red Harp, look out, it's Billboard Nation. And Saturday, it's Monty and the Point. And thumbs up to the Red Harp. You do a lot of wonderful stuff for our community as well. Now, I noticed during COVID, they had so much support at the Red Harp. Unbelievable. And they've got mouth-watering food up there. The Appalachian, they have the Screamin' Evil Blues Band at Friday night. And then Sunday Jam. Don't know what they're doing Saturday, but they always do something. And the Friday night live music is happening at the Shepherd's Crook. And it's Back Road Bound is the name of the band there this Friday night for some intimate. I like the Shepherd's Crook. It's nice and quiet, and you can talk.
Intimate, more of an intimate atmosphere.
Yeah, you're nice and quiet, and the food's there is great. Now, we'll start checking out what's going on with the clubs on the weekend because we couldn't do it before with COVID, but now things are coming back again. And it's nice to see people out and about at Shoeless and Boston and all their spots. Boston is more of a restaurant, I guess, but drinking establishments. It's nice to see people out on the weekend.
Sports go to Boston, I think. Do they not? Watch a lot of sports more so.
A lot of sports, so there. Yeah. So there's another. Well, there's you and I have our very first show together. Actually, as a matter of fact, isn't it? That we winged it, all with the help of Joe's marshmallow bananas, and of course the chocolate pretzels. And did you eat all those jujubes?
No, they're right there.
Oh, I just can't see them, that's all.
They fell out of the bag. You had the empty bag, but no, they're right there.
Yeah.
No, I can't eat anymore. I had enough.
We'll just give you the lineup, what's on Halton Hills Online Radio. I'm Big Daddy. I'm on in the morning. From 10 to 2, it's Leah Lywood. 2 to 6, it's Afternoon Drive. And then from 6 to 7, Moose Tracks, the best of Canadian with Big Daddy and Foster the Moose, of course. And we're going to get Foster all rigged up in here, and we'll get our characters on the show in the weeks to come. And 7 p.m., of course, is the gatekeeper. Keep your hands away from his mouth when he's eating.
That's it.
He comes in with a crate, those old milk crates, you know, and he mixes.
Now watch Willie.
Night. And Willie. Midnight is the overnight show, of course. Now, Saturday and Sunday we have specialty programming on, From 6 to 9 a.m. it's Seniors Graffiti, music of before the Beatles, you know, the Pat Boone era, the Chuck Berry, the Fats Domino, the Buddy Holly, the Leave It to Beaver era, you know what I mean? And it's great to wake up in the morning to that, making Sunday morning breakfast, and you're rocking the Buddy Holly.
The beginning of rock and roll, right?
That's right. Saturday, 9 a.m., of course, the Don Cherry podcast, and it's heard on Saturday at 9 a.m. and along with this audio show, and along with on Wednesday at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. That's when we have Don Cherry on the local station. And of course, from 9 to noon, it's oldies, gold oldies, our generation stuff, 60s, 70s, 80s. You know, and then country starts at noon, and on the weekend is the Top 40 Timeline. The worldwide show with yours truly is on at 4 p.m. Saturdays. 6 p.m. is the Big 20, which is new music with Bill Smith and James the Music Man Rogers, and then Bill Smith takes over Saturday and Sunday nights from 8 to midnight with his weekend music mix, and he of course is a big music. He's Mr. Music, Bill Smith. You know, he's a music blogger. He's been a blogger of music for almost as long as I've been in radio, which is 50 years. So he's been around for 30 or 40 anyway. And he knows his stuff, and he programs our radio stations too with the newer music. I do the old stuff, you know what I mean?
Yep, I know.
Yeah, you know, it works. Thank you so much for joining us. We're brought to you by, as always, Max Tires, 905-873-9255. And give us a call because we have the lowest prices in town. There you go. And I'll do my, oh yeah, well, I'll let you do that part.
Community is driven by community.
You navigate.
And we drive.
There you go. And now I've got my Mike Divine chimes. There. Perfect. Thank you so much. Right
Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend.
That's right.
And a week, for that matter.
That's right. Happy times at HHOL Hills Online.